How's it going, everyone? I'm back, and today I'm going to be doing a bit of a surprise video talking about a little bit more of an important subject, something that's kind of come out of the blue. I wasn't expecting to do a video today, but I thought it was kind of appropriate given the fact that I really want to push this out and push my opinion on it. What I want to talk about is YouTube's reforms to their partnership program. I'm going to have an update coming out later in the week, and I wanted to get that done last week, but I didn't get around to it. But this, I think, I really wanted to get out there, so that's why I'm putting it out right away. And so, for those of you who haven't heard, YouTube is changing the requirements for your partnership with them, which effectively changes the requirements for you to monetize your videos. Last year, they rolled back a change to make it that you needed 10,000 views. When I first started YouTube, there were no requirements. You could just get ads on all your videos. No criteria necessary. Now they're rolling it back to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time in the past 12 months. So this is a big change, and I think there's pros and cons to it, and I'm going to break down my opinion on it and kind of talk about a bunch of things. But the first thing that I really want to say is that I don't think it's fair that smaller channels should get penalized for bigger channels' mistakes. We saw this happen with PewDiePie, which I do have a lot of respect for that guy, but he did make a mistake, and smaller channels had to pay for it with the rolling back to the 10,000 views requirement. And then now Logan Paul's messed up, and they're rolling back even further, and I don't think that's fair to the smaller channels. And I also don't like the fact that they had restrictions, then they lifted all the restrictions, and now they're rolling back to restrictions again. So I think the way that YouTube has handled this issue is not the best, and along with that goes the fact that, as always, their transparency and their ability to communicate with those on the platform is awful. This notification has come out of nowhere. I know several YouTubers who have just gotten emails saying, well, you know what, in a month you're not going to be able to monetize your videos anymore because we're not partnering with you anymore because you don't meet our criteria. And they've done a really bad job at announcing this and explaining really what's going on. I personally found out about it because I saw other channels that I'm subscribed to talking about the issues. I didn't get notified of it at all. And so I don't think YouTube's necessarily as bad as we make them out to be, but they have serious problems when it comes to communicating with the people on the platform and ultimately the people that make their business. So if you can't communicate with your customers, if you can't communicate with your employees, essentially, you have a big problem because you're eventually going to have people who are just leaving. Now, I think this change is certainly going to hurt some people, and actually one of the first people that I think of is my good friend RC Team Austria. He meets the 1,000 subscriber threshold, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't meet the views threshold, which it really sucks. I mean, if you're in that position where you got 1,000 subscribers but you're not getting enough views, well, now you're not going to get any money. And even worse, I think, is the flip side. You know, I just passed 1,000 subscribers last week, so thanks for that. I got a video on that coming up soon. But I just passed 1,000 subscribers. Prior to that, I was getting significantly more than 4,000 hours of watch time. And if you break down and do the math, you could say, well, 4,000 hours of watch time, it equates to 240,000 minutes. You're looking at $4 to $10 a month for that many views over the course of the year. And so that's not a lot. I mean, if you're really gonna complain and whine over $4 to $10, that's kind of iffy. I mean, it's not that much anyway. I don't think it's really hurting you too much. The bigger thing is those channels that are legitimate. They're putting out their own content. They're not just these copy channels, which I'll get to in a second, these channels that copy and paste other YouTubers' videos to make money. But these channels, like mine, that legitimately put time into the content they were creating, were getting way more than the necessary amount of watch time, but didn't have the subscribers. And if they had rolled back that change a couple of years ago, you know, I would have lost out on hundreds of dollars. So it can end up being a lot bigger if you don't meet that subscriber threshold, but you do meet the view criteria. I feel like that can hurt you a lot. So I think that YouTube, in a way, is really killing any chance of new YouTubers coming up. Keemstar went as far as to say is just quit. I don't agree with that. But regardless, they're making it even harder than it's been in the past, and it's been hard in the past. But I think there are positives to this change, and when I first heard it, I thought, oh no, this is awful. And maybe I don't think it's as awful because I now just meet the criterias, and if they roll back further, well, that'll be a problem. But for me, thankfully, I'm going to be unaffected, just unaffected. I could have been very close to being affected by it, but I'll be able to continue on making my content, which I do for fun. It's not about money for me, but it is nice to have that money coming in, and it would be a real deterrent if I didn't have that return for the work that I put into my channel, because I take that money and I put it back into my channel. But I do think there are positives to this change, starting with the fact that YouTube has a limited ad pool. By taking ads off of the smaller channels, potentially you see there's a lot of channels that have, just re-upload other YouTubers' videos, content, and they get monetized, and they make money off it, and that's all they're doing. By rolling out that subscriber limit, well, now they can't make money. Same thing goes for channels that are just uploading news clips. They might not have the subscribers, but they're getting millions of views. Now they actually have to put out some original content as opposed to just reposting other people's work to make money. And I think that's good. I think it's going to kind of drive some more creativity, but I feel like they're also really limiting the chance of that creativity to actually bud, because they're not supporting those smaller channels. But I think what it does do is it allows this ad pool to be more concentrated on the channels that are actually working hard now, which means maybe not noticeably, but I'll get more ads playing on my videos. PewDiePie will get more ads playing on his videos. All the people above the threshold will get more ads playing on their videos, which will mean more revenue, which is a benefit and a bonus for me and for all those other YouTubers. Like I said, it also, I think, eliminates these channels that just re-upload other people's content to make money. So I think there are positives to it in the fact that they are getting rid of a problem and giving more benefits now to more established content creators. But the form in which they've done it, I do not support. And I also am worried that this might bring back things, as Vintage Beef pointed out, like dead subs, or sub for sub, and you're going to have channels with 1,000 subscribers, and none of them are active, but they're just at the 1,000 mark so that they can earn money from it. So it'll be interesting to see how this change goes. I just wanted to put my 2 cents worth on it, talk about the pros and cons. I'm actually leaning towards it being a good change, mainly because it does get rid of some of these channels that are just reposting others' content, and it'll, I think, force a little more creativity, and it also increases the ad pool for established creators, which are all things that I'm supportive of. I think the biggest problem with everything that's happened is the lack of transparency, the lack of communication, and the fact that they went from restricted to no restrictions, and now they're rolling back. So in general, just the way they've handled it, I'm not supportive of, but the change, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I think it's going to be effective of February 20th or something like that. And it'll be interesting to see how things go after that point, but I think it could work out quite well, but I think it's also killing off a lot of potential opportunity for people to start up now. I think it's going to be practically impossible. Anyway, that's just my opinion on the matter. I wanted to get this filmed and get this out there to you guys so you can know what I think about it. Let me know what you think about it, especially some of my RC buddies who maybe don't quite meet the criteria. What's your opinion on this change? If you guys like the video, don't forget to click the like button below, and if you're enjoying my channel content, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.